All right, we are in Tuesday's qualifying round of the St. Patrick's Day tournament. This is the 2020 edition, and I'm in my practice account. And I may qualify my practice account today, and I may practice in my practice account my ball inventory in my practice account, like looking at what it will take to get through the tournament. Um, Looking at Titans as an example. So how many holes I'm using Titans or Kingmakers on. I've got enough ball inventory to get me through the tournament if I qualify today. If I practice today, then I'll be a little low. And so it'll just depend. I'm going to play it kind of by ear on how I do it. I'm probably going to qualify this account today and then play my main account next and then see how I feel about it. And then I may qualify tomorrow. And then my 99 account, my low level account, I'm probably going to qualify it this evening. Maybe do one more day of practice in it just because with the lower developed club, some of the holes. So yesterday I went out. If you watched yesterday's videos, I went out. And thank you for watching yesterday's videos. Hole number 9 seemed to be the max overpower hook, seemed to be a really popular video. Everybody's trying to figure out how to do hole number 9. So if you're watching my stuff for the first time or you watched me for a long time, here's the deal. Monday's practice. And so I go in on every Monday, and my goal is to establish what clubs I'm going to bring and what balls I'm going to use and what my secondary club is. What's the next club? And so that is my focus on the Monday practice round. And some of the holes I already kind of know, so we're kind of working on position and which way the wind's blowing and how that's affecting the shot. Sometimes you have the shot. There's a couple of the par fours here where you've got the green here and you can hit over to this direction or you can hit over to this direction. And which way we're going to hit is dependent on the wind. And so yesterday I worked all that stuff out. So today I have an absolute game plan on what I'm going to do today. And I know what balls I'm going to bring. There's still a couple of the holes that I'm trying to work out. Yesterday, on like hole number 6, I played hole number 6, and I came at it in a way I've never come at it before. It's one of the Drew Moore Links holes. We only play that in one tournament, and I tried a rough bump on there to see what that looked like and what the angle looked like, and I didn't like it. It's not that it's not a viable shot. It's just I didn't like the angle there. There was too much opportunity to epic fail on that par 5, and I'm just not interested in doing it. So today, let's see here if did I get those pictures come out? No pictures come out. Okay, hold on one second. Hold on, I took 2 pictures, and evidently they didn't come out. So I'll stop it here, and then you guys can pause it. So hold on one second. Hold on. Don't get impatient. It'll happen. No, that's the wrong one. Where is my camera? There is my camera. So these are my notes. So you can pause it right there and take a look at my notes. Those are my notes going in. So I started off with this right here, where's my base notes, just so that I could do the original walkthrough. I had to figure out which one each one of the holes was and what hole on that course it was. And then I wrote down some basic notes. And then as we went along yesterday, I started making some chicken scratches on here. And then I went through and watched the video. This is the Glen Monarch Estate. This is the 9-hole cup. So I went back and looked at some of those Glen Monarch holes just to see where I was at in that tournament. And those are just my club notes for club numbers. So this is where I'm at right now. So I'm in the qualifying round, and these are my qualifying round notes. And my goal, as the week progresses, my goal is a minimum of minus 30 plus is what I'm looking for. And in the weekend round, that's my goal. So leading up to the weekend round, I'm really looking for trying to get myself on track to hit that kind of score. And so it all starts off with, if we think about minimum scores, our minimum score in this tournament is minus 11. And that's because hole number 9 is really a birdie hole and we're trying to get eagle. And we really want to get eagle, and that puts it to minus 12. So the question is how do you get from minus 12, which would be minus 24, to minus 30? We need to pick up 6 shots. And where are those 6 shots? All of the par 4s. I'm interested in getting an eagle on every single one of those par 4s. And I think at least 2 Hole number 1, that par 3, was not in my vocabulary, but I think we got a serious chance of hole-in-one on that hole. And the last par 3, the mid par 3, the way that the wind's blowing, it may be problematic. It's just going to depend on what ball we bring and how high the wind is when we get there. And it's going to be one of those holes that I'm still working on, and I'm still working on hole number 6, that par 5. And the par 5s, we can put ourselves in position to look at Albie, but I'm not going to count on any of those Albies. If we can get an Albie, woohoo! If we can't, then that's fine too. The goal is you don't want to lose the tournament because you messed up on one of those par 5s. Where we can win this tournament is on the par 4s, and if we can pick up some of the par 3s, that's just gravy. Okay, every time you make one of those par 3, you get a hole-in-one on a par 3, that is a winning shot right there. What's going to get us in position to get that win are going to be those par 4s, and if we can pick up all the par 4s, we're looking at minus 30. And we have to get number 9. Even though it's not part of the minimum score, we have to get it. You're going to have to pick up, I believe, like usually if you shoot the minimum score minus 11, minus 22, that's going to get you into the weekend round. I don't think, because we have so many opportunities in this tournament to pick up some shots, I don't think we can rely on that. We really want to be focusing on like our minimum score being minus 12, minus 13, so that we can ensure ourselves a weekend round. We still, I think in most brackets, you'll be able to make the weekend round with the minus 11, but if you're in a bracket like my odd account where it's playing against everybody in the bracket's going to be a master level player and they all got great clubs, you're going to have to shoot better than the minus 11. If you're in rookie, you'll probably be able to make it in there. Rookie pro, you'll probably still be able to make it in there with a minus 22. But we really should be trying to focus on shooting the minimum score, trying to pick up hole number 9, and really focus on those par 4s, because the par 4s are shots that we can pick up and we can get into great range. So yesterday's practice round, while it looked like I was just out there dinking around, I learned a ton of stuff yesterday on these holes. And today's goal is to put that to the test, because what I'm looking for in my practice round is how do I shoot that minus 11 with my eyes closed and behind a curtain. And I can shoot this score no matter what. If I was half awake, I could shoot this score. And then I can build upon that. And so today is putting all of that stuff to the test to make sure that this score is in the bag. And now, when I get past this round, past the qualifying round, then I'm really only keyed in on wind adjustments. So today's goal is to hit as many perfect shots going into the cup as possible, so that I can, number one, show that this right here is in the bag. And then I can go back when I'm making my opening round notes and I can look at those perfect shots into the cup and go, hey, I hit a perfect shot. I made a great wind adjustment and I was off to the right. And so now I know that maybe I need to start adding on some wind or start taking off some wind. And I can really start to dial that in so that in the opening round, I can put the wind stuff to the test to prep me for the weekend round. That's my progression. Now, what some people do is they'll play a lot of accounts and they can get all this stuff worked out at the very beginning of the week. But because I like to work myself along so that I'm peaking at the weekend round, and I've had success with that. And that's how I work it. I want to ramp myself up towards the weekend round. If they did a total combined score at the end of the weekend and the total combined score won the bracket, I would try and work this stuff out sooner in the week. But that's not how it works in Playdemic or in Golf Clash. Each round counts its own. There are tiebreakers, so you want to come into the weekend round with great tiebreakers. But you don't have to blow the world apart in your opening round and use up all your magic. If you can come into the opening round with a great score in the opening round, I'd really like to be in the 28 to 30 range, and then in the weekend round, pop that up into 30 plus. And so today in the qualifying round, I'm really looking for a minus 14 as the absolute minimum. And my goal is minus 15, but minus 14 is my absolute minimum. That's picking up 9 and picking up 2 of the 3 par 4s and see what happens on the par 3s. I always look at par 3s as if I can make a hole in one, that is just gravy. Gravy. I don't count on those par 3s to make my score. The par 4s are where we're going to make our money. All right, here we go. And if you're new to the channel, and you like the content so far and you like the stuff and you play rookie, please feel free to subscribe. It helps out the channel. And I've started the process of looking at all the software I need for my computer and setting up so that I can start streaming. And maybe not this tournament, but maybe the next tournament, I am going to start streaming content. I'm hoping that I can do that relatively quickly, especially with the coronavirus out there. If they make us all stay home for a while, I'll have more time to do it. All right, hole number one. Hole number one is going to be Drew Moore Links, and it's hole number 2 in Drew Moore Links. And I'm coming at this with a Grizzly and a Navigator. Here's the spot that I've chosen as my pony. So today, my ponies have been chosen. So where I'm at and what I'm doing on most of the holes, I still have 2 holes that I'm still working on. That they're not quite fitting the way that I want to play them. And so I'm making adjustments on them. But this hole right here, I picked a pony. I'm bringing my Grizzly. I'm white ring off of this transitional surface right here. And I'm coming at it with 1 backspin. And I'm dialing the side spin up so that I'm on the cup. I originally started off, because I know that there's a wind adjustment here, I started off with a 20% wind adjustment. And I was over pulling slightly, I think. And so my teammate Terry, thanks Terry, suggested that I do a 15% wind adjustment. So I'm going to do a plus 15% wind adjustment and see if I can get it in the cup. I'm going to try and aim, today I'm going to aim right at the flagpole and see where that puts me and see if I need to make an adjustment where I'm on, if you take the cup, where I need to be on one side or the other. But the wind, I believe, is blowing this direction. So if I do need to be on one side or the other, it'll probably be on the left-hand side. You'd go on the side that the wind's coming from. But I'm going to make a 15% wind adjustment with 1 backspin. With a Grizzly, with a Navigator. And that seems to be the spot with my Grizzly. And I'm sure that there are a ton, I'm not going to say infinite amount of spots. I suppose there could be an infinite amount of spots that you could be out there, but that's the spot that I've chosen, and it's a spot that you can get back to. You can repeat over and over by being off of that transitional surface. What I need to look at is yardage to see, like, am I at +4 or +16? I hardly ever look at that stuff, and I need to look at it today and see if it's registering. Grizzly nav, white ring off, 1 backspin, 15%. My opponent goes first. Wind is blowing from the left to the right. And see, the yardage thing isn't showing up, so I'm not sure on here, like, trying to find the distance. This is a hole right here that will eat your lunch if you're not making great wind adjustments. So in my opinion, you have a huge advantage over somebody who's just eyeballing it, because you can get it seriously wrong on this hole and you can end up in the bad stuff. And 3.8, 4.4 rings. I'm going right off of the tip. Got 1 backspin, just dialing it up to the cup. I'm going pretty much right at the flagpole. So it's 3.8. I'm going to do 4.37 rings. So 4.4 rings. So we're in that neighborhood. Really trying to focus on perfects today. Isn't it perfect? Just a little bit too much backspin, or not quite close enough to the cup. I know it bleeds out there that it runs a little bit longer than the ball guide goes. And so where my ball guide terminated, where it ended up was about half where my ball guide ended when I set that up and to the cup, that distance, I ended up about half farther than that. And so I need to be just a little bit closer to the cup. But I am going to, I think the 15%, at least right now, looks like a solid number. And just dial that sucker up. I know if I came out here earlier in the week in the practice session, I got this hole a couple times and I dialed up my ball guide right up to the cup. And it seemed like it ran out a little long, like the ball guide was lying. And so I'm trying to make sure that when I get to the cup, my speed is just right. So distance is a big deal. There are a couple of the holes that I learned some distance things yesterday. This hole right here is the problem hole that we're going to get to because of the way the wind's blowing. And the wind's blowing not too dissimilar. Now it's blowing dissimilar than this. I will forfeit. I want to practice with the wind that's not, if the wind was blowing the same as it was in the tournament, and the wind's blowing from the right to the left on that diagonal. Good luck. All right, that was hole number 1. Starting to dial that hole in. I came in at the beginning of the week and I did not feel good at all about hole number 1, and I'm starting to actually feel pretty good about hole number 1. And I think that our odds of getting a hole in 1 out there on that hole during the week are pretty high. And so I will continue to work on that distance issue. But I do like the 1 backspin. I may have to adjust that. It may be 3/4 in that spot. It would be nice if I could find, I'll go back and watch that video and see if there's a spot out there where I can find where I've got 2 points of triangulation where I know I'm off on the right hand or the left hand side where I'm off the transition, and then on this other side I'm off here. That's why a lot of times if you watch my stuff, I wedge my rings in so that I've got 2 points that tell me where I'm going. But I'll continue to work on that hole, and I am feeling really good about the adjustments that I'm making on that hole. All right, that was hole number 1 of the 2020 St. Patrick's Day Tournament and Tuesday's qualifying round in the rookie division. Thanks for watching.